Yeah, yeah.
Typical IT. Okay, there you go.
Hey guys, welcome to Subconscious Socials. This week, my name's Lisa. I'm a hypnotherapist from Cumbria, and this week we've got a guest on called Charles Whitaker. Charles is an expert in burnout, and I'm really interested in this topic because I feel like it's something I've experienced myself, and a lot of what Charles covers is what I can relate to. So, Charles, welcome today. How are you doing?
Thank you. Yeah, I'm happy to be here. Thank you.
Happy to be here. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
beautiful as well, isn't it? Sun shines out.
the sun's been shining all day. It's amazing.
Yeah,
What
we're
a
doing.
change. Who
Yeah, we're doing good.
who could have guessed?
I know we're enjoying it. We're enjoying it, making the most of it, I think. Um,
Yes.
Charles, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself, a little bit about your background, how long you've been doing this for, what got you into it?
Yeah, it's interesting because Lisa and I met recently, and we've discovered that we're both from the same area. So that's in a way how we came to have this conversation. Uh, um, but my background is in my manufacturing. I was a senior leader in a paper manufacturing business for many years, and that was a hugely interesting experience. And I learned a lot about working with people. I think that was one of the key things that I carry forward from that time. And in doing so, I was helping them to achieve more than they thought they were capable of achieving.
Yeah.
That business eventually closed, and I started doing what I'm doing now. So I've been doing this kind of work for about 18 years. So I'm
Yeah.
helping people to create a new reality for themselves so they could live more effectively. And no matter what it is, it might be something quite simple like stopping smoking or dealing with the consequences of childhood trauma and all the way through to imposter syndrome.
Yeah. Yeah. So is your background hypnotherapy then, Charles? Is that predominantly what you do, or is there lots of other ways and techniques that you use within your sessions?
Yeah, I trained in hypnotherapy many years ago, Lisa, and I also, around about the time I was doing that, the business decided senior leaders need to be learning how to do coaching. So we were taught how to do coaching.
Mhm.
I also did a distance course in performance coaching, and over the years since then, I've added a whole variety of stuff in, and I've trained how to deal with trauma. I mean, part of my hypnotherapy training included EMDR, which is the sort of classic way of dealing with trauma. But I've added another trauma-related therapy since then, and a whole variety of other skills and techniques which help me work with people to achieve change fairly rapidly.
Yeah. And just for anybody listening that's not sure about EMDR, what's EMDR?
EMDR is eye movement and desensitization reprocessing.
Yeah.
Essentially involves people's eyes doing this, or them tapping, alternatively on here or their legs or something like that.
Yeah.
And they can do that with their eyes doing this at the same time, or it depends. Some people have technology which has a sliding beam which does this kind of thing.
Yeah.
I've since trained in what could be classed as rapid EMDR, which is nothing like as clunky as EMDR, I get great results with that. It's not me that gets the results; it's the clients that get the results.
Yeah.
But it is very helpful.
Yeah, I've heard people have some phenomenal results with EMDR. It's really interesting to be able to incorporate into your sessions as well with the hypnotherapy, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Go on then, Charles. Do you want to dive straight in? Is there anything else you want us to know about you personally, or do you want to dive straight into what we came here for?
No, let's move into that because over the years I've been working with people with burnout, and over the years I've really been a generalist, but in that I've worked with people with burnout,
Yeah.
and whilst I'm still happy to work with anybody with whatever is going on for them, I'd like people to be able to avail themselves of my skills. I decided that at least for marketing purposes, it'd be interesting to focus on burnout.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so I started digging into it, and actually started finding some interesting ideas, or ideas that we'll be talking about today. And I'm still working on this. Actually, I've gone so far in my thinking that I've actually started writing a book on it.
Oh, interesting. Amazing.
So we'll not be able to cover all that today because a lot of it is still sort of bluffing and rushing around my head, and I'm still sort of thinking,
Yeah.
what's this mean? What's that mean? So I'm still working my way through all of that. but anyway, I was looking to get a deeper understanding, a more better conceptual understanding of really what burnout was all about.
Yeah, yeah.
And
So Charles, you work with people sort of under pressure, don't you? Um,
yes,
what do you feel like they're usually what do you think what do you feel like they're usually their problem that they're sort of aware of or what's going on for them?
yeah, what's the most obvious things that they'll be irritable, maybe prone to getting angry much more quickly than they might have done,
Yeah,
or they might be just feel physically worn out,
yeah.
overwhelmed. I mean, when I had burnout, it was after my marriage broke up, and I was it was interesting how it happened, but I got to a point where I could hardly walk.
Wow.
It was
Wow.
like, oh, what on earth is going on here?
Yeah,
Luckily, I knew what to do to sort myself out. But yeah,
yeah,
if you don't know what's going on, it can be a little bit sort of unnerving. Well,
yeah.
even then, it was unnerving, but I managed to get myself through it fairly quickly.
Yeah. Perhaps a little unobvious as well. Like when you're dealing with these physical symptoms, you might not be aware that it's burnout that you're suffering from, I imagine.
This is true. So
Yeah.
you can get a sense of overwhelm, more tired. You're not thinking so clearly. You get brain fog. Um, the irritable sense of it being irritable, just not coping, all that kind of thing. Not sleeping well, waking up in the middle of the night, stuff going round and round inside your head, all that kind of stuff, Lisa. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. Okay. It's interesting, isn't it? Because a lot of this is sort of ringing a bell and it would previously, and I'm obviously in this world with you, but still sometimes when it's happening to you, it's not always the most obvious thing. You can sort of externalize it a little bit. It's the job, it's this, it's that, it's
that's
actually
right.
everything, isn't it?
Yeah,
Coming together. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Um, so sort of what when they think they're aware of a problem, what are they usually thinking their problem is? What like your sort of the people that come to you, what do they usually think is their problem? Are they aware it's overwhelm? Are they aware sort of do they come to you as does it come in disguise to them?
They think it's work. People tend to think it's workload.
Yeah,
They
yeah,
think they need better time management. They need more discipline. They need to be more resilient, or they simply need a break.
uh-huh,
But what
uh-huh,
they're describing isn't volume. It's not that it's too much. It's a
yeah,
sense of accumulation. Things are building up and building up.
yeah,
And what's happening inside the head is inside the brain is that we have a predictive system. Our brain is constantly predicting, and what's happening is that the predictive system has adapted to constant ongoing demand
hmm
without resolution.
hmm
And the brain is then overspending energy before the day even starts.
yeah, yeah,
So that's what leads to this sense of overwhelm or irritability or not sleeping well or lacking focus or not able to cope with the same demand on the previous capability that we were talking about a moment ago. So another way of saying that is there's an idea called a body budget or
hmm
allostasis to give it a fancy term.
uh-huh,
And what's happening is the body budget is becoming depleted. And when that happens, the brain struggles to regulate itself.
yeah,
But the
yeah,
problem, people think it's the character. It's nothing to do with the character. It's simply the brain is predicting demand that outstrips their resources. Very simple.
yeah.
It has such implications, this idea the brain predicts demand which outstrips resources.
Right. So then in my head, it's like those these sayings that come up like you can't pour from an empty cup. It's like literally say you've got a bucket and your bucket's full and you've got a bigger bucket and that bucket's full and now you've got a bucket that's so big, so full you cannot carry it anymore. Would
Yeah.
that be accurate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one way of saying it. Yes. We have this idea of a stress bucket, and we need to sort of open the tap and empty something out of the stress bucket to let more stuff come in. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. So do you work with sort of leaders? Is that the type of people that you tend to work with the most, or is it just a workforce in general?
I'm happy to work with anybody who's got concerns that I can help with.
Yeah.
But typically, I work in the business community. Yes.
Yeah, okay. So what are they sort of describing when they have sort of an issue? Is that more or less what they're coming with, like what you've just sort of shared? Or
Yeah. Yeah. They're
yeah.
still functioning. They're still deciding. They're still showing up. And
Uh-huh.
what they're noticing is that decisions are sort of getting heavy. They're weighing them down, and
Mm.
those little efforts take more effort to push to get on with, and thinking feels slower, and then they start to replay conversations in the mind, or the focus slips faster.
Yeah.
And in the evenings, they don't get fully restored.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
So it's not collapse, it's just our thinking and the range of emotions we can carry, becomes reduced.
Ah, yeah.
So
Yeah.
everything gets done, but it
Hmm.
takes much more effort.
Yeah.
But even when we've rested, the mind hasn't reset.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can appreciate that. Yeah. Gosh, and you're always on catch up then, aren't you?
You're always on catch up, exactly, yes. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. But
Yeah.
the thing is, because the mind hasn't reset, it
Hmm.
never catches up with itself because this constant accumulation happens. So the
Yeah.
brain continues to predict fatigue,
Yeah.
and then it narrows attention, and the, any any simple thing can start to amplify. It amplifies threat signals. That's why we can start to get irritable or
Yeah.
become more irritable than we were.
Yeah. 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 And I guess fatigue, anything like that, it's our body's way of protecting us, isn't it? It's like
It
it's
is,
trying
yeah,
to shut us down.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
exactly, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Um, would you say sort of burnout's mainly about workload then, Charles, or
No,
no?
it's. We often think of it as being about workload, but workload just explains the pressure.
Hmm.
But that doesn't explain why the pressure accumulation holds. Why it doesn't why pressure. Sorry, it doesn't explain why pressure accumulates inside someone.
Yeah.
So burnout is more often sustained anticipation with like a sense of completion. It's without being able to enter that bucket you were talking about, Lisa. It's when the
Yeah.
brain predicts never-ending demand and it's ongoing.
Uh-huh.
It
Uh-huh.
starts to reorganize itself, become more vigilant.
Right.
So
Right.
we don't not emptying that bucket. We're getting this lack of completion. So it's not the amount of work. It's simply it. We just have that limited ability to do what we were dealing with before.
Right. Okay. So it's sort of almost like lessening your ability to sort of perform then.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Ah,
yeah.
okay. Okay.
The budget that we have this constant draw on the body budget, and there's
Uh-huh.
no opportunity for the brain to recalibrate. That's what's going on.
Ah, right, right. Yeah. Yeah. And actually recalibration's key, isn't it? Like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fundamental. If we don't get that time to recalibrate, then we don't we just get it just gets heavier and heavier and heavier. We slow down. It gets too much eventually. Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like I know we're on the topic of burnout, but I guess like life can happen, things can happen in life and add in stress. And you talked about sort of in marriage breaking down, things like that. That all adds to a need for recalibration, doesn't it? Like you're living in a different environment, a different state, a different, you know, everything's changed, hasn't it? What you know. So, and I think there's so many things that can happen in life similar that need that recalibration as well, that can lead to burnout, not just work. Um,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, it isn't. It does. Work is only just one example of it. Yes, it could be
yeah,
life. Life happens, and life isn't
life happens.
life. As you're saying, we all sorts of things get thrown our way, and it can be these as much as anything else that leads us into this. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, yeah. So that was sort of I guess when we're under that sort of level of pressure, we start sort of making different decisions, looking at things differently. Why do you think capable people suddenly start making poorer decisions?
yeah. It's an interesting question because people might think they've lost intelligence, but they haven't.
Hmm. Hmm.
They've lost what I call range. They've lost that ability to be flexible in their thinking.
Yeah.
The thinking narrows. They're not able to take on so much. So when we carry a lot of responsibility, when we sustain that responsibility, the brain shifts into energy conservation mode.
Hmm. Hmm.
So it starts to widen risk prediction, but
Hmm. Hmm.
narrows exploration. So it can't cope with it can't cope with this wide range of stuff. I'd say it can't cope with that wide range of stuff. So it starts to narrow down and
Uh-huh.
will default to what's easy and familiar.
Yeah.
Therefore, it will choose to work fast rather than be accurate,
Yeah.
and it'll stop considering the full range of possibilities because it just wants to narrow things down.
Yeah. Yeah, no, and it makes sense, doesn't it? It's like preservation. It's again self-preservation, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
It's just the decision making is becoming conservative, and it's slower, it's heavier, and
yeah,
it's being adaptive to what's
hmm
happening, but
yeah,
it's reducing clarity, and so
yeah,
decisions get harder because the
yeah,
brain's predicting its resources. Yeah,
yeah. No, and understandably, when you look at it like this,
yeah,
it's easy to blame ourselves, isn't it? And actually, it's the body doing what the body does best, looking after us. Uh, and it's once you recognize that, I guess that's what your work's about is recognizing the patterns.
exactly.
Um,
Yeah,
well, our yeah, as hypnotherapists, that's what we do, don't we?
yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah,
Yeah, the brain, you as the personality haven't become irrational. It's simply
yeah,
that your brain is conserving energy, and
yeah,
it's doing exactly what you say, Lisa. It's the brain doing what it does best. It's helping us look after ourselves in the way it thinks is going to help us in the best way possible. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Wow. That's pretty, yeah. It's pretty amazing, the brain, isn't it? Like I've got to give it credit where credit's due.
It's far cleverer than we think we are. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you know what though? Gaining this better understanding and doing the work that you're doing and digging and really going down that rabbit hole with it, it can help so many people once you've got an understanding of what your brain's doing. You can then work with it a little bit better, can't you?
You can. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. So then let's have a think about this. So what changes first? Like just to help people sort of recognize these patterns. What changes first? Energy, thinking, behavior? Where does it start?
It starts with thinking.
Yeah.
Our thinking narrows first.
Uh-huh.
The range of stuff we can cope with
Right.
shrinks. And
Right.
that happens long before our behavior changes or even before fatigue is felt consciously.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
energy will often remain, but our curiosity gets less.
Right.
We get less flexible. Our ability to take initiatives reduces. And we will feel, I don't feel as sharp as I normally feel. What's going on here?
Like sort of brain fog sort of thing.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
yeah.
Nothing looks wrong from the outside.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's this ability to think clearly and sharply. That's not there the way it used to be, and it's that happens long before our behaviour changes or our exhaustion sets in.
And I guess this is where things can get a bit confusing. Like obviously, um, you're a man, you were dealing with like a heavy situation, perhaps when you experienced your burnout. For women, they could go to the doctor and say, like, I can't think straight at this or that. It'd be like, oh, you're menopausal, you're perimenopausal, you're this, you're that. Like, there's always other things that these things can be put down to, isn't there? So that makes it really tricky to sort of
Yes, yes.
navigate, I imagine.
Yes, I mean, if, for example, it was a woman who was perimenopausal, we'd have a conversation about that because I
Yeah.
have a whole program of breath work for helping people with menopause. And there aren't many men who can work with that, but I have 30 hours of training under my belt for helping women through breath work
Right.
deal with menopause,
Yeah. And the breath.
deal with brain fog, deal with the night sweats, all that kind of thing.
Yeah, yeah. And then Charles, would you so with your knowledge and insight into sort of burnout, like is there a pattern forming here where we're often sort of everything's referred to as menopause, perimenopause, when actually it could actually be burnout that you're dealing with? Is that something that becomes obvious or is it a bit of a grey area?
It can be a grey area because we're also unique. Fortunately, we're unique, but
Mm.
that's what makes us human. But of
Yeah,
course, when somebody has concerns about how they're feeling, then we can't just sort of. And bear in mind, like you, I'm a hypnotherapist. I'm not medically qualified, so I can't.
no,
We
yeah,
both know we can't diagnose people, but
yeah,
what we do is sort of listen to what people say, and listening, as we both know, is crucial to our work.
yeah,
And so it's actually sort of getting a deeper understanding as to what that person is really experiencing.
yeah,
And obviously, we do have to be able to sort of make an informed decision based on our experience and knowledge as to whether we can truly help somebody. You know, we're
Yeah.
both ethical in how we think about work.
Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
we're not going to go rushing ahead willy-nilly and say, "Oh yes, I can do that." No, we need to take time to do a proper case assessment each time. What's happening to this person? What are they experiencing? How does that relate to my knowledge and skills? Can I sensibly help this person?
Yeah.
That's part of how we start off down this road when I'm working with any client.
Yeah, treating the person in front of you and exactly what the parts of what they're dealing with that you feel like you can support with, isn't it? And
Yeah,
the parts that are sort of potential, like, night sweats, things like that, where, that's a GP thing, isn't it? Like, or actually, sometimes, I mean, hypnotherapy's been pretty excels in lots of spaces, doesn't it? And there are ways of managing certain things that you might think are a little bit outside the box. I am very aware we're going a little off piste here, but there's so many things that it can help with, isn't it? In terms of sort of reprogramming the brain, remapping the mind.
it is absolutely incredible. The things that we can help people with is pretty immense. And
Yeah.
you sometimes think, well, we did this process and it seemed to make sense and nothing happened. But another time we think, well, we do something and it doesn't really make sense. And all of a sudden the client says, I feel so much better.
Fun. Yeah, yeah. And even just having this time and space to share and be heard and
Yeah.
held and to listen and be supported is huge, isn't it?
It is fundamentally. I mean, whilst we both have our own individual skills and knowledge and all that stuff, some of the research shows that 50% of the outcome, approximately, 50% of the successful outcome is from listening people,
Yeah,
properly listening to them.
yeah.
People don't have the opportunity to be properly heard.
No.
Listening properly to clients is essential for our work.
Yeah. It's huge as well, isn't it? Because I think we spend, I know again, I'm a little bit off piece here, but we spend so much time um in fear of judgment of ourselves,
Yeah,
judgment from other people. This safe space, this container that we can create, it's all of that. It's a completely safe space, free from judgment, free to be able to say the things that you don't even think or feel, but they're there and in your mind. And it's a space to say them out loud and almost like you're putting them in the fire. Like
yeah.
it's just a space, isn't it, to be able to do that? And it's not often in life that that kind of space is created unless you create it.
That's fundamental to what we're doing, yes. And the thing
Yeah.
is, people have that fear of judgment. And
Yeah.
there's a lot of, very often, people will not necessarily say it up front,
Hmm.
but there can be a deep sense of shame. And that really is very hurtful for people. Naturally, they don't want to say that.
Hmm. Hmm.
But working with us, then that can be alleviated.
Yeah, and actually sometimes just saying like say for instance the person that is at work and perhaps struggling with the pressures under work, they never used to struggle with the pressures of work, but they are now, but they don't want to admit it. It's all getting a bit too much, but they don't want to say that out loud because then
Yeah.
they feel like a failure. And it's that, and it has like a snowball effect, doesn't it? But actually, pause, get some support, unpack it a little, and honestly, it can just feel so much lighter, can't it?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. What we're effectively doing is allowing the brain to do that recalibration we were mentioning earlier on, because we're taking away some of the things that were getting stuck, and we're allowing the brain to go through its own recalibration process.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Um, so like there are certain people that believe that sort of pressure improves performance. Um, and they feel like they work better under pressure. When does that stop being true? When does that become sort of where it just can't happen anymore?
Yeah, well, pressure helps,
Hmm.
but performance only improves when the system gets real recovery between cycles.
Yeah.
So we go through a cycle. But
Uh-huh.
at the end of the cycle, there needs to be some settling. That needs to be the gap where the brain can sort of recalibrate itself. And
Yeah.
without that phase where we can let the brain settle, without that, then the performance just drops.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's when it's that's when it starts sort of being noticed, doesn't it,
Yeah,
outside.
yeah,
And I've worked in sort of a pressured environment in the past, and it catches up with you. It's great, and everybody's bish bash bosh, and then
yeah,
all of a sudden, like everyone's flat, and everybody's going downhill pretty rapid.
yeah,
And yeah, it becomes pretty obvious what's going on, doesn't it?
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Um. So, is there anything else you want to share on that, Charles?
Yeah, there's a sense in which we need to work rhythmically. There is an
Uh-huh.
idea of rhythm, and if demand is continuous,
Uh-huh.
we lose that sense of rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
And so, when that happens, the brain starts thinking we need to be vigilant. So it
Yeah.
doesn't get a chance to restore itself. We don't get that recalibration process, and
Uh-huh.
in that way, our performance just starts to gently go down. Even
Yeah.
though we push through, our effort increases, that performance just starts to drop down. So in other words, our pressure helps, but when the only when the brain can recover its body budget between demands do things settle down.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can appreciate that. Yeah. I can I can actually I work well with images and just sort of seeing that
Yeah,
sort of forming in my mind there. Yeah.
yeah.
It's interesting. Yeah, and interesting how performance can gradually. Do you think that's why people that are working under pressure for long periods of time, this is like a little bit off piste again, but sort of when they're working under pressure and they've got like a really high pressurized role, and then when that role ends, I don't know, say an athlete or something, when it sort of comes to an end, do you think that's why it becomes such a struggle to kind of part with not having the pressure as well? Is it a similar thing, or would you say it's completely different?
It's an interesting idea. I hadn't thought about that aspect before, Lisa, but I think it's quite possible. What the brain, because the brain has got used to this idea of prediction,
Yeah.
and once you make that change, it's not certain what to make of it.
Yeah, yeah. And it's again the pattern changing, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So the
yeah,
intelligence is still the same. There's still that same capable person,
yeah,
but the brain is still in that process of trying to predict, and it doesn't necessarily have the because it's something brand new. Because say you've been a performance athlete and you're suddenly going into something completely different, the brain doesn't necessarily have that sort of range of past experiences from which you can make reliable predictions.
yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. Oh, that I reckon that's a whole nother topic there. We could another rabbit hole we can go down.
Yes, so it is. Yeah,
So, like, I guess from what you're saying, if people don't lose intelligence under pressure, they're losing range,
yeah.
aren't they? Yeah. So, like, what's that going to look like in real life? What does that look in real time?
What that looks like in real time, you're not able to deal with so many options. You have to reduce things. You start to look to the familiar,
Yeah,
think in straight lines, and you jump straight to a conclusion rather than allowing yourself to sort of give yourself the space to think about it. So your patience is getting shorter, and your ability to deal with it, or your emotional tolerance shrinks. You're not able to sort of cope with the
yeah,
same emotional demands on yourself,
yeah.
and you stop imagining alternatives because you get into this straight line thinking. You can't think outside the box in the same way. You're still capable,
Hmm.
but
Hmm.
you have less space inside. And to be a leader, and in many ways, we think leaders are people running big businesses. Well, yes, they are, but actually, we're all leaders in a way.
Hmm. Hmm.
And leadership requires space.
Hmm.
So what happens is that under pressure, we've got the same. We've got it's like having the same tools, but we're in a smaller workspace.
Yeah, yeah, interesting. Yeah. So it's almost like sort of your capacities sort of changed altogether for dealing with things.
Yeah, yeah. What's happening is that we've got the same level of capacity, but the brain is starting to predict from a model which is too narrow. It doesn't allow us to sort of doesn't allow us to get outside and have that breadth of resource to draw on. It
Yeah.
just it relies on it relies on the simple things it knows. So it doesn't want to deal with anything complex. Doesn't want any
Yeah.
uncertainty. So it avoids the
Exactly.
uncertainty.
Yeah.
And then because it does that, we lose our creative variability
Right.
because these other things are easier for the brain to think about. If it can avoid uncertainty, if it can do with things that are familiar, then
Hmm.
that's easier on the brain. It's easier for it to take on board.
Yeah. Here's an interesting question for you, Charles. Just one that I'm intrigued by. Do you feel sort of like over time, like we go through life and we're gathering up these sort of different things and we've dealt with them all at the time and space, but actually as we go on and on and on, we're kind of collecting more and more. And that's where like it might not necessarily, you might not hit burnout from one thing in particular. It's just this accumulation of things like life in, as you get
Yeah,
older, more
yeah,
and more things happening. Do you feel like that's like an almost like that's a burnout in itself, as in like we've just accumulated so much that we've never had time, space to reflect, to sort of recalibrate from, and that's like just a life burnout rather than it being a specific, burnout from work being stressful, burnout from something happening within the family. Like it's all just an accumulation of little things.
yeah. I agree totally with that. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It's just built, as you say, Lisa. It just builds up. It builds up. It builds up. And I guess we lose that flexibility because we just got so many things going on,
yeah,
and anything new we add to it seems
yeah.
to seems to make the whole demand much bigger than it really is.
Yeah, tip the balance. Like things that you might have coped with 10 years previously, like it was just to water off a duck's back.
Yeah,
Actually, 10 years down the line, having carried, I always imagine it like a rucksack. I use this brick analogy all the time
yeah,
that we go through life, we start off with an empty rucksack. As we go through life, different things happening, and we're putting more and more bricks in the rucksack. And then we get to the point where we're like still carrying this bag with all these things that have happened, and we've had nowhere to really offload, recalibrate from it, or anything. And we're like trying to slug through life, and even the simple things then getting put into this bag are just really tipping the balance. And
yeah,
that's how I like to process things. I like a picture in my mind to be able to process things,
yeah,
and that's how I always think of it.
yeah.
Um, yeah, so
I think
this
I think
this is
that's I think that's a good quick. I think that's a good picture, Lisa, because once when we're like that, we just can't cope with it. So
no,
we make quick decisions which aren't necessarily the best decisions. Yeah.
yeah,
So yeah.
yeah, interesting. So do you think it's a gradual decline or something different altogether?
The way I would describe it is as stable performance, but with shrinking recovery. In other words,
Okay.
it's this idea which we've been talking about. It's things are accumulating. It's
Yeah,
building up, building up. So nothing dramatic breaks.
yeah,
So people don't notice collapse, or maybe I should say they don't experience collapse.
uh-huh,
But what they do notice is this is a sense of being heaviness.
yeah,
The slowing down.
hmm.
The capacity to deal with a wide range of stuff is getting used up faster.
Yeah, yeah,
So when this happens, our brain is thinking, well, this has become normal,
yeah,
and so I can't cope with all this. So then it starts to predict things which aren't really true.
hmm,
So
hmm.
burnout isn't always about dramatic exhaustion. It's simply simply a reduced ability to renew itself, to recalibrate.
Yeah, yeah. Like sort of a slow accumulation
Yeah,
of things. Yeah, yeah. Oh, interesting. I'm actually processing this conversation as we speak. I find it super, super interesting. And I can't even imagine how many people out there that are dealing with this without even realizing.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the thing. People carry an awful lot.
Yeah, like they might not even know the difference between like being tired and being totally mentally saturated.
No, very often they won't. And one of the troubles with that is obviously well, we agree with it. I mean, I'm not sure it's widely understood, but when we don't look after our mental and emotional health, it affects our physical health.
Yeah.
But in direct answer to what you're saying there, yes, when we're tired, then we can resolve that by rest or by sleep. But the mental saturation you talk about there means the brain has still got things going on which it hasn't closed off.
Yeah.
We've not stopped that thinking, and so the brain is still continuing to predict heavy loads. So
Yeah.
even when the body stops, we've got this sense of being saturated. We not have a sense of completion. So you can rest physically,
Yeah.
but stay mentally full. So
Yeah.
to give you some examples, to get completion, we need
Yeah.
clear
Uh-huh.
decision boundaries, and sometimes just clear boundaries. No,
Yeah.
no means no.
Yeah. We don't have to have a reason. No can just be
No, no,
no can
no,
be full
no, no.
sentence.
That's our own boundary.
Yeah.
I have got enough.
Yeah.
Thank you. Another thing to get completion is explicit. Today is finished ritual. A ritual say, job done.
Yeah.
Close the computer. Really close it. Do not go back onto it till 9 o'clock the next morning. Get away from it. Get away from the mobile phone. That
hmm
tells your brain the job's done. Today is done.
hmm
In a similar way, having defined edges to our responsibility so that when we go home, we don't have to continue to think about the things we're dealing with. There's no expectation that the
Yeah.
phone's got to go at 10 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
I know that happens for people. I did a job where it could go any time. This is what you live with in certain circumstances, but you do have to sort of find means of dealing with that.
Yeah.
And another clear decision boundary is training the system to experience genuine completion. So, for
hmm
example, if I were up at 2 o'clock in the morning, I'd have to find a means of sort of can't bring myself back to my center.
hmm hmm
Okay, I went and did the job done. I
hmm
know I did my best. It's okay to go back to sleep again now. So we had to create this sense, train ourselves to experience this genuine completion. That might be a one-off, or it might be an ongoing thing, which we have to do.
Yeah. And I guess when we're not in that sort of I wouldn't say peak mode, but like when we're not experiencing this, those are the types of things we would do. Do you know, like previously, and like you said about retraining, it's retraining you to do those things that keep the healthy boundaries, finish with the day, put everything down. That's all things that sort of slip, aren't they, over time sometimes,
Yeah,
that you might not be aware you're doing, and it's that retraining your brain, isn't it, to
yeah, yeah.
to, to go back to those
You're right.
simple,
We do have to take we do have to retrain the brain, Lisa.
yeah.
Recognize that there's things going on, and we need to sort of take notice of ourselves and step back and think, okay, there's something
Yeah.
happening here. I need to sort of stop, work things out, get some clean air, get some fresh air, do something
Yeah,
different. All the things that we can help to sort of get a complete mental reset. Yeah.
yeah. So that in what you're saying, then there's a difference, isn't there? Tiredness is a state the body can repair with rest, um, and and sort of mental saturation's different, isn't it?
Yeah, the mental reset, mental saturation means that we have these loops which are still open, so that unless we can deal with those open loops, unless we can sort of, it's like an open loop is like an unresolved task.
Yeah,
So the mind keeps on budgeting energy for those.
yeah,
That's what draining us. So we're physically rested, but the mind's not rested. So we have to do
yeah,
something to help the mind, the brain, sort of say, job done.
yeah,
That's it for now.
yeah,
I can let it all go.
yeah,
It'll still be there tomorrow, but for now, job done.
yeah. It doesn't have to keep holding space for those
Yeah,
like unresolved tasks sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah, that
yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Ah. Okay, so you've there's a thing sort of to do sort of you mentioned sort of rhythm rather than resilience. What would you say in your this is in your within your work you talk about rhythm rather than resilience. What would you say the difference is in that?
yeah. I used to talk about quite a lot about resilience. I'm less inclined to talk about resilience now. The more I've looked at the question of resilience, because
Right,
resilience implies enduring load, pushing through, being tougher.
right.
I'm
Yeah,
I'm the tough guy around here. I used to do it. I mean, I'm not preaching from a high place here.
yeah,
When I had my job in manufacturing, I used to sit there and my heart was pounding. Oh, I'm a tough guy. I can get through this.
yeah,
But what we really need is a period of rhythm, uh, so we can cycle the load and recovery. Because
yeah.
our human systems are actually rhythmic.
Uh-huh,
The performance depends on allowing that rhythm, that sense of oscillation, not on endurance.
uh-huh, uh-huh. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Interesting concept that because actually, like when you think of the word resilience, it's pushing through. It's coping no matter what, isn't it? Like, but actually when you talk of rhythm, it's so different. But actually the rhythm can create almost like a nicer version of the resilience. Like
Yeah,
a
yeah,
gentle, it's a gentler version, a more can't even explain, just a gentle, better pattern of resilience. It's management, isn't it? Resilience management, maybe.
yeah. The rhythm is going with the body's natural cycles.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the key thing here, because when people talk about pushing through,
Hmm.
uh, I can go on a rant. I seriously can. I've fallen out. Well, not fallen. I don't fall out with people, but I have taken on LinkedIn when I do a lot of posting. I have taken issue with people who've talked about pushing through,
Yeah.
push through, and my answer is no.
Because
If
you'll
you're
pop eventually.
if you're a Royal Marine
Yeah.
and you're at the front or whatever the Marines are working, whether they're in action, yeah, you push through because that's what's required of you.
Hmm.
But in day-to-day life,
Hmm.
pushing through is not helpful.
No, it's not conducive, is it? We
And,
know that.
it's okay. It's okay in the short term. A job has to be done, and it's very urgent. What have you? You have to. You do have to. This. You do have to push through. Things need to get finished. But the more we can recognize our body it needs rhythm and
Yeah.
allow those rhythms to come through, the less mental saturation we'll get.
Yeah. And the rhythm creates a gentle resilience rather than that push
Yeah,
through resilience.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I can get that. I feel like that's landed now. Yeah. Huge. It's a huge difference in those two terms, isn't there?
Massive.
Massive
Yeah,
difference.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. Just letting that land. Um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's a big concept that Charles.
It is. This is actually this whole thing about the rhythmic question of this idea of rhythm in the body.
Yeah.
That's where I actually started this whole investigation, this research that I'm doing at the moment, which has led to us today. And the book
Yeah.
I'm writing, it started with this idea of the body having this need for rhythm.
Yeah.
That's how I got going on this. I thought, oh, that's interesting. Nobody's talking about that. I've not seen that anybody. I've not seen anybody else talk about that.
It's massive as well. It's almost like a penny drop moment for me, this.
Yeah,
I'll have when I read, because obviously before we did this, I read up a little bit about some of your blogs and things like that, and learned a little bit about what you were sharing. And it's huge, isn't it? Like you talk about sort of um rhythm acknowledges that the brain requires alternation, expenditure, and replenishment. So it's that expenditure and replenishment, isn't it? And that is the rhythm. It's
exactly.
huge.
Yeah,
Yeah. So your body budget is it's much easier to budget when you're managing life that way rather than that resilience of just pushing through all the time.
yeah.
Yeah. I like this concept. I feel like it's really landing with me.
Well, that's good. If it's making sense to you, then it'll make sense to people who are taking the time to listen to what we're saying. Lisa, that's
Yeah.
reassuring for me. Yeah,
Yeah. No, I think it's huge, isn't it? It really is huge because I guess if you It's almost like if you treat it like a bank balance. This is me with
Yes.
my own analogies.
Yeah, yeah. No,
You
it's
can't keep going into overdraft all the time, and that's where like pushing through and being resilient, you go into the reserves, the overdraft all the time. But actually, you're budgeting accordingly and managing it effectively. That's so much better.
it is. I like your analogy of the bank balance. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think it works really well, Lisa. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I really intrigued by this subject, and I just think it is. I think it could be shared so widely and be utilized, and actually, the performance of staff and um, managers, leaders, everybody. I feel like everybody could really benefit from this, rather than to get into that peak and then being off with burnout. Just having this knowledge and this insight is like, right. How can you manage your body budget better? Do you know, like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
uh,
yeah. Well,
do you
I'm
know?
hoping that's what I'm hoping the book will do. Hoping it's going to be a practical tool for people to think about all that kind of thing you talk about there. It's not just about leaders; it's about everybody in a team. You know, everybody gets tired and everybody gets too much thrown at them.
Yeah,
You know, stop
yeah,
throwing things at people. Allow them to say, "No, I've got enough."
yeah,
Allow them time to recognise their own rhythm, and
yeah,
create that spaciousness in the daily cycle where where the brain can reset. The thing
yeah.
is, when the brain resets like that, and this is fundamental, when the brain can reset like that, memory improves, our creativity improves.
Hmm.
Now, when you allow that to happen, all of a sudden you're more effective.
Yeah, 100%. I have a friend, right, and she spoke of this concept. Again, it's a little bit off piece, but actually it's not because it kind of it goes along with that expenditure and replenishment. And as a couple, they're like, when you get in, you've both been at work all day. There's kids to feed. There's this. There's that. There's the other. There's lots of things to do. Make tea, and they actually communicate with where their percentages are. So if one of them says, right, I'm on about a 6 today, and the other one's like, yeah, I'm only on a 2. Right, I'll make tea type of thing. And
Yeah,
this is that expenditure, like, and communication of knowing where you're at.
yeah,
Oh, if they're both like, oh, I'm on a 2, I'm on a 2, oh God, we better make tea together then. Do you know what I mean? Like, that again is the same sort of thing, isn't it, on this expenditure,
it's
on where you're at.
I think that's a really lovely way of talking about it, Lisa. Yeah, I really do
Yeah.
like that. Yeah, yeah,
Honestly, when she shared it, I was like, that is beautiful. And
yeah,
actually,
yeah,
how
yeah,
many relationships would absolutely thrive have with that concept? I mean, I
yeah.
guess the key is to do it and to use it,
Yes.
but
Oh,
really,
yeah.
like, it's that energy expenditure again. Like, oh, you know, people talk about spoons, don't they, in therapeutic? Have you heard about the spoons where, all right, I've only got 5 spoons today, where am I spending them? Have you heard that one?
No, I haven't. No.
It's a similar sort of thing, but it's like,
Yeah,
yeah, no, actually, this is my budget. This is
yeah,
all I've got for this evening to get us through till the kids go to bed.
yeah,
Do you
yeah.
know? It's my body budget. It's
Yeah, it is.
Charles's body budget.
Yeah, it is.
Same
Yeah,
sort of thing. Yeah,
yeah,
no, I love it. I love it.
yeah.
And I guess it's that like being able to step away. Like I am at a 0. If you're at a 10, do you mind if I step away? Do you know, like,
Yes.
yeah, yeah,
And this is where it comes down to the interpersonal stuff and knowing that actually when you say, I'm absolutely whacked, I'm at a
yeah,
zero, can
yeah,
you help me? And
yeah,
the other person is at a 10, they say, yeah, of course I can.
yeah, it's
That's
huge.
that's what helps relationships to really thrive when people pull together like that.
Yeah.
That's really good interpersonal stuff. That's really good teamwork
Yeah.
within relationships. Yeah.
Yeah. Charles, we're not just cracking the code of burnout, we're cracking the code of relationships here. This
I was
session
just thinking
is
about that, Lisa.
okay. So, something I wanted to ask you that we've sort of pre-discussed, pre-looked at. Why do you think that thinking improves when you are able to step away, when you do step away? Why is there such an improvement?
Why is there such an improvement?
Why does thinking often improve after stepping away? Why sort
Yeah,
of why does
because
how does that space
the
create?
brain is updating its predictions during pauses. So when we
Yeah,
pause, it's like having a little time for me to, the brain can do a little bit of integration.
Yeah.
So it starts to integrate error signals because the brain works. The brain is not perfect. It's always making a best guess, and so it'll guess, and won't be quite right. So it's constantly making corrections. It's making corrections all the time. So lots leads to the recalibration. And so when we sort of get these pauses, the prediction errors settle, and that's when
Yeah.
the body budget rebalances.
Yeah. So I guess like that's like, if you're about to, like somebody really like, I don't know, somebody really annoys you and does something and you like react. So I guess it's like it's that time to take the time to respond rather than to react, isn't it? And I
Yeah,
guess it's sort of a similar concept to that, isn't it?
yeah, it is. Yeah, yeah.
Taking that time to step out.
Responding versus reaction is a good way of thinking about it, Lacey. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I always need my little ways, Charles, just to make sure it's landing and I under
What I'm going to do is, once I've written the book, I'm going to send it to Lisa and ask her to rewrite it in Lisa language.
What is it like? There's all these books. What the book's called? Um, Something for dummies. Like
Yes.
it's
Yeah.
my version to help it land. But I feel like that, like there'll be the way that you sort of say it'll really land for some people, and then sort of the way it lands for me is usually images, analogies,
Yeah.
different ways. So I
Yeah.
feel like we'll be able to cover everybody doing it this way.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh. I absolutely love this topic. I feel like we could literally talk about it for days. There's so much to cover.
Yeah.
And there's so much that goes on in life that leads to this point where people need this level of support and understanding of their own minds
Yeah.
and sort of how to gain sort of clarity over what's going on.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. We do need that. People do need that, and
Yeah.
I think part of our own mission is constantly to help people understand.
Yeah. Themselves and be kinder.
Or be kinder. Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Kinder to themselves.
Be kind to yourself. Start with
Yeah.
yourself. If you're kind to
Yeah.
yourself, then you'll be kind to other people too.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. So you would say then, Charles, that reducing external pressure allows the brain to complete its predictive updates.
Yeah.
Yeah. So then when you do finally stop, the brain can finally integrate.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's right. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then clarity is
And clarity emerges because the prediction model that the brain is running is finished its processing. So
yeah.
everything you get back to clarity. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So then if rest sort of helps performance, why would you say that like sort of really driven people resist resting? Why is that? We all know somebody like that that just will not stop.
I think that's my favorite question so far.
Yeah.
Because the answer is because their identity is tied to forward movement,
Yeah.
and their brain predicts that stopping equals falling behind.
Yeah.
And I kind of laugh when I talk about this because a lot of my work, whatever I'm working with people, the final part of the work is almost always doing identity work,
Yeah.
helping people to reclaim their true nature,
Yeah.
be more of themselves.
Yeah.
That makes my heart sing when I can do that, help people do that.
Yeah.
So
Recognize some patterns.
what's when people who are driven pause, it feels like they're losing control.
Hmm. Hmm.
And if you're in a low trust environment, that's very difficult because that's when control feels absolutely essential.
Yeah.
And how many environments are really high trust?
Yeah.
Too many. I mean, in an ideal world, we would live in a high trust environment. With a
Yeah.
high trust it'd be a high trust environment at home. Sadly, far too often not the case because we were just talking about related to that a minute ago, but
Hmm.
also in business, in businesses. Some of the things that I hear about happening in businesses, you kind of shake your head. So
Yeah.
they're not low trust. So that's why we get this sort of people sense of losing control.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
So
rest feels dangerous because
yeah.
our ability to predict the model has learned to expect continual demand.
Yeah. Yeah. And then I guess so the brain is predicting that pause is risky.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah. It's threatening. That's pausing. It's threatening identity. It's threatening achievement or the sense of control.
Yeah.
So we become restless because the brain has learned to create this constant activity with safety. Yeah.
Yeah. And you do like I mean you see that such a lot, don't you? And it does make me feel sad, like um it makes me feel sad that somebody's not able to switch off, I guess. To take that rest, to take that time out, that they don't feel safe enough to be able to do so.
I agree totally. It's very
Yeah.
sad. It's
Yeah.
very upsetting. It's not conducive to any good outcome at all.
Yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
it's not it's not good for a business. It's not good for a home life. It's not good for society at any level. It's not good. It's not helpful at all.
No, no. And even you see those people, and even like going on holiday doesn't seem to fix the burnout, does it?
No.
So, like, why do you think that is?
The great thing about going on holiday is it reduces the input. We don't have that same level of stuff bombarding us. Uh,
Yeah,
but the underlying patterns of the brain predicting stuff aren't changed.
hmm
So when we get back into the day-to-day routine, the vigilance resumes quite quickly.
Yeah, it's just straight back on it.
Yeah, so burnout isn't about rest time, it's about unfinished cycles.
Yeah,
So if the brain continues to predict ongoing demand, it keeps spending energy, even on the beach.
yeah,
But even on that beach, we're in the bank saying to the bank manager, help, I'm overdrawn.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So it's not about rest, it's about recalibration.
yeah. And I guess like recognizing that pattern, like recognizing what's going on, like giving yourself the time and space to recalibrate always, switching off, using those tools that you've shared. Closing it
Yes.
down. Yeah.
Yeah.
Closing like loads of tabs open in the brain at all times, shutting them down, shutting them
Yeah, that's
down.
right. It's checking in with ourselves to see what's going on and
Yeah.
see why we might be feeling unsettled, or what's if we're feeling bothered about something. Well, having a little conversation with ourselves just to find out what's going on,
Yeah.
and the more we can learn to recognize what's going on, the more we can start to make these mental adjustments. Say, no, close that. I don't need that open. I can park that quite safely.
Yeah.
Park that. I don't need to be thinking about it. It's okay. All done for
Yeah.
now.
Yeah. Huge.
But when we go away on holiday and come back to where we were, the same place, we get the same demands on ourselves.
Yeah. The
So the
same cycle
brain
again.
picks up where it left off.
Yeah.
So it can't start making the same predictions, and then we start to run down again very quickly. So I know what it's like. I mean, I used to go on holiday and think, "Oh, great! I feel great, wonderful." You go back 2 days back in the mill, and oh, I could
Yeah.
do it. I could do with another holiday.
Yeah. Do you think they hit the ground running, catching up from the things that weren't being done when they weren't there, and they're back to square one again
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
in a 60 seconds, the minute got in the door. In fact, before they've even got on the door, the night before they're due back in work, it's like
Right
tabs
enough.
are open again. Yeah.
Right enough. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So Charles, what would you say the brain's actually doing during pauses, and why does it matter for sort of decision quality?
Yeah, what it does during pauses, it's updating its model.
Yeah.
It's dealing with those prediction errors. It's important to realize emotions are not reactions. They're actually constructed predictions based on past experience. I'm
Oh.
going to repeat that because
Oh yeah, do.
it's fundamental,
Yeah.
and it comes from a theory comes from something called the theory of constructed emotion. So I'm not waking this up. This is real neuroscience. Emotions are not
Yeah.
reactions. Emotions are constructed predictions based on past experience. The
Ooh.
brain is a black box. It hasn't a clue what's going on outside apart from our five senses and our previous experience, and it predominates to our previous experience. So during pauses, the brain revises predictions and it resets the body budget and
Yeah.
integrates information.
Yeah. And it's interesting that because I always think of emotion as energy in motion.
Yeah,
So energy in motion from previous experiences is repeating cycles, whereas if you take time to pause, that energy in motion can recalibrate
yeah.
and bah!
Ding,
Ding.
ding.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah, love that. Yeah. So during the pauses, the brain revises the predictions, the body resets the budget and reintegrates information.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
yeah. And that time, I think I was saying earlier on, that time when the brain can get stability, when it can recalibrate, it's helping memory consolidation and it
Yeah.
rebuilds our creativity.
Yeah. Yeah. That is so true, isn't it? Because how often, like, when you really do take that time to put, I mean, I can be a woman for this, and I don't know whether it's full, I don't know, you might be able to unpack this a little bit with me, whether it's full recalibration or not, but like, say you have actually managed to put things down, you've chilled, you've read a book, you feel like you've closed the tabs down, and all of a sudden, all these beautiful ideas start coming in. And that's like your creativity comes back in flow, things that you like, concepts you've never thought of before. Yeah. Would
Yeah,
you say that's what that is?
precisely. Because beforehand, you were carrying too much. You had all these tabs open. Your brain was narrowing down and was
Yeah.
looking for simplicity and just didn't want too much. Now you've
Surviving.
cleared all the rubble, and as you
Yeah.
say, all these ideas start to flood into you. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. I always have to remember to close those tabs down too, though, and just relax and enjoy. Because sometimes I can get in real flow. Like especially when I'm on holiday on a beach, just like I can do a few days, and I'm like, right, then the creativity kicks in, and then I have to stop it a little bit because I could start going into total flow, like work mode again. It's mad.
yeah, 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 yeah,
It's interesting.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. How cool. Um, okay. So where are we? I'm trying to think what we my brain is just busy absorbing this, Charles. I found it so interesting. I absolutely I love it. It's really, really interesting topic, and it covers so much about life across the board,
Yeah.
whether you're in business, whether like we said, relationships, home life. There's
Yeah.
so much that it can help you make so much sense of yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's like the perfect pattern for life.
yeah.
Regulating the body budget.
It's essential for fundamentally it's about ourselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not about even about relationship. It's about well, it is. It's about the relationship with ourselves.
Yeah.
But yes, this cascades into relationship with other relationship. It cascades into the world of business.
Yeah. Yeah. So like lots of people just feel like they've lost motivation. But actually there's so much more going on, isn't there?
Yeah, yeah. There's nothing wrong with the motivation.
Yeah.
But what's happening is they're actually conserving energy.
Yeah.
So the brain is, I keep going back to the brain because that's how I think about this stuff. The
Yeah.
brain is predicting continued demand and
Yeah.
it reduces the initiative to preserve energy. So the brain is predicting energy scarcity
Yeah.
and restricting output to conserve resources.
Yeah. Understandably. Yeah. A little bit like when your lips go blue when you're cold.
Yeah, yeah.
There's another one for you.
That's a good one. Yeah, it's very true.
Yeah.
Exactly like that. Yeah.
Because your body's reserving energy to, yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, energy conservation for real. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Amazing.
So the motivation isn't gone. It's just that our body budget is empty. We don't have the
Yeah,
energy to deal with things. We don't, and you don't have the energy. That's why the lips go blue because
yeah,
we don't have the energy. Our body doesn't have the energy to keep them nice and pink.
yeah. Reserving energy for elsewhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, wow, this concept, it's huge.
totally. Yeah,
Yeah. So your depleted brain predicts don't spend any energy, and that can feel like lack of motivation when really it's not. It's just
Exactly. Yeah.
Independent energy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It is. That's exactly what's going on. Yeah.
yeah. And then that makes sense, like why people might become more irritable when they're overloaded. It's just reserves, isn't it?
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. They
yeah,
can't cope with the prediction error. That's what's happening. It's reduced tolerance for that prediction area.
yeah,
So when we become highly vigilant, because there's so much going on, our vigilance increases, and when we highlight that, our bandwidth, our ability to deal with a whole range of stuff, that interpretation shrinks. So we
yeah,
have less capacity to process nuance.
yeah,
What does that really mean? I'm not sure what that really means. And
yeah,
so we have that less capacity to deal with that nuance. And small
yeah,
disruptions feel disproportionately costly too. We just can't cope with them the way we would have done.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah,
that in turn means that our reactions become quicker,
yeah,
sharper,
yeah,
not because we've changed, but because our system is already strained. And it's
yeah,
strained in the sense that it's carrying so much, it can't be bothered. Can't be bothered to think things through properly. No, quick,
yeah.
job, done.
Yeah, just react, react,
Yeah,
react.
that's
Yeah,
rather than respond, which you were
yeah,
saying earlier on. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. So it's just under the strain. They're reacting rather than responding
yeah,
because they're under strain. Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah,
Very much, that's very much the case. Yeah,
yeah. So yeah, it's all just about the saving energy.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. We've lost the brain capacity to cope with or to interpret ambiguity. So
yeah,
the brain then jump to conclusions faster because
yeah,
that saves us energy.
yeah,
But in doing so, that looks like we're being irritable.
yeah, yeah. So then you've got the irritability. Fatigue was another one, wasn't it? So like, what do you feel like the fatigue's actually a sign of?
Fatigue.
Yeah,
That's its constant anticipation. It's build up and build up and build up of things, not just files being left open, loops not being closed. You
yeah,
have in the brain's terms, there are too many unresolved predictions.
yeah,
It's not too many decisions. We're not tired of making decisions.
yeah, yeah. It's like,
It's this fact we've got all these loops open, these unclosed loops. We're carrying
yeah,
too many of the open ones, and
yeah,
so the brain narrows options down to reduce the energy cost. It's
yeah,
not to do with too many decisions at all.
yeah.
So in this,
Again,
sorry, carry on.
I was just going to say again, so my brain, it's like, when your battery drains faster on your phone because you've got so many tabs left open,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
search windows, and it zonks your phone. And so your phone goes into like low battery mode to like the screen goes lower, the brightness diminishes. That sort of thing, isn't it? It's the same sort of thing. That's the fatigue.
I think that's a great analogy, Lisa. Yes,
I know.
absolutely spot on. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I need my analogies in life. It's how I
yeah,
function, Charles.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's yeah, it's just a different way of understanding it, isn't it? It's the same sort of concept with a different way of understanding it, but it drains your battery by having all these things running in the
yeah,
background all the time.
yeah.
Yeah, huge, interesting. So too many open predictions, not
Yeah.
too many decisions.
That,
Yeah.
that's that, that that's my interpretation of what I think happens. Yeah,
Yeah. So then that would make sort of work, like the meaningful stuff feel a lot harder to even start, like things that you really want to do. It would just be too much to get going with.
yeah, it does because meaningful meaningful work actually carries a lot of uncertainty. It has consequence.
Yeah.
It needs our full range of ability to think,
Hmm,
our
hmm.
full range of being able to engage emotionally.
Yeah. Yeah.
So when we have this heavy load on us, the brain then needs certainty. It prefers certainty, and it
Mhm.
avoids these tasks or avoids these jobs that really demand depth and creativity.
Yeah.
So it will do its best to avoid high stakes thinking, not because we lack commitment, simply because we're looking after ourselves, we're looking after our resources.
Yeah, I can totally relate to that, Charles. I had an experience, I don't want to go too much into it, but I feel like I think actually I was grieving and didn't really realize how much I was grieving because I was like, it's dealt with, it's it is what it is, can't change it, that sort of thing. That very matter of fact way of being.
Yeah, yeah,
And I was trying to like continue with work. And it was work for an organization that's time under time pressure and
yeah,
there's a lot. It comes under a big umbrella of things you need to do, tick all the boxes, that sort of thing.
yeah,
There's nothing, it's not so much free flow. It's a pressurized environment. And actually, I can remember that this one day when I was trying to work, and it was like there was these two monkeys clashing um, tambourines in my brain. It was literally what I could see, and I was like, wow, that's huge. And then I got this like overriding headache, like a migraine just kicked in. And I think it's that is your brain um, telling you that this meaningful work is too hard right now. You just simply can't do it. It's not possible because you haven't recalibrated from this situation.
yeah,
Um, Massive.
yeah,
But I get it took me time and actually reading your blogs and having this discussion, reading your information, it's really helped me understand that phase, that time, because I did feel like a failure. I did feel really tired all the time, simple tasks felt difficult, but I hadn't recalibrated from the grief from what was going on.
yeah. And grief is such complex experience.
Yeah,
And so I recognize what you're saying and how it impacted you personally.
yeah.
And it can be too easy to take lightly, and it needs to be taken seriously because we can carry grief for a long, long time.
Yeah.
I had a friend who um, her father had died many years before her mum, and she said, "I didn't grieve for my dad all that time, all those years. She didn't grieve for his own
Yeah.
time, carried all that time." So it's immensely complex. We deal with it when we're ready, but it's sitting there waiting to be dealt with, and because we're all unique, it impacts us all in our own unique way. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I think it was like it caught me off guard a little bit because sort of you think you've processed it and you have all these tools and this knowing and this insight, but actually you can have all the tools in the world, but if you don't take the time to use them and fully recalibrate and take the time and space needed, it's really difficult to just continue. And actually, my brain did decide it wasn't having none of it,
yeah,
and I just couldn't. It was the fog. It literally kicked in. So
yeah,
yeah, it's really interesting this though. Um, Really interesting subject.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
It's the implications or potential applications of what we're talking about, Lisa. There are lots of them, as you're saying here. I'd thought about it in that context, but yes, very much so. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. And like you sort of you can hit that sort of burnout stage and then you question like your ability to do something, don't you? Like you can really you question your competence. Like you're
you
just
do.
like, I'm not capable of this anymore.
Yeah,
And like things that you've done robotically, easily, for a period of time that should come like riding a bike, just don't feel possible. So you feel like you're incompetent and you're not capable anymore.
exactly. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Why
mean,
do you think that is, Charles? Why do you think it makes you sort of burnout can make you question your competence?
we get confused between capacity and capability.
Yeah.
We confuse low capacity with low capability.
Yeah.
Our competence hasn't disappeared, but the flexibility that we need has narrowed. Come back to this, keep coming back to the idea of things getting narrower because we're
Narrower. Yeah.
getting so much. That's very different.
Hmm.
So our range is reduced, but it feels like it's reduced ability, but it's not reduced ability.
Yeah. But it really like I have to say that is that I've experienced that, and it really is like you can become quite cross with yourself
Yeah,
for feeling incompetent, like incapable, not hitting the targets as you once would, like it's frustrating.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's certainly frustrating. It's uncomfortable.
Yeah, yeah. But actually taking the time and space to unpack that it's actually your brain doing what it does best is taking care of you and working through it, giving yourself the time, the space to recalibrate. Again,
Exactly. Yeah,
recalibrate.
yeah.
And like again, what is that? What is how much time, how much space? Like we give ourselves a day and we're like, we've had the time, we've had the space, right, get on with it. And actually, that's just not always the case, is it?
It isn't. No, no. We're all,
Yeah.
that's why it has to always has to be geared around us as an individual because we all have this unique way of dealing with the world. And that
Yeah.
unique way of dealing with the world is based on our personal history.
Yeah. Yeah. So then in essence, Charles, what would you say like really restores your capacity?
What we've been talking about is the idea we have these open loops, files not closed.
Hmm.
So what we need to do is get signals that it's complete,
Yeah.
job done,
Yeah.
computer closed.
Yeah.
Or during the day, we have pauses. We have pauses which recognize the natural rhythm within our body.
Yeah.
Make sure we honor those.
Uh-huh.
Don't push through. Push through is
Yeah.
for the birds. We create proper endings
Hmm.
whenever we can, and we get
Yeah.
a psychological settling. So we just settle down. All is well. We know we're safe. We need this
Yeah.
idea of psychological safety. So it's not time off. It's closure. It's closing out things.
Yeah.
And that says the signal that the brain needs that something is finished, and then it can free up the resources and reset.
Yeah.
Not escape, not withdrawal. It's allowing that source process of recalibration. That's well, that's what we're about. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So your brain can like say, right, finish, draw a line under that prediction. Yeah.
Yeah. Draws a line. As long as we can safely and securely draw a line under it, then the brain will update its predictions, close down, and the whole thing recalibrates. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. So what should people sort of notice in themselves first and foremost?
When a task ends, when a task ends, we ideally want the that's it, job done. But
Hmm.
typically, what is happening is that we have this persistent mental activity going on. It's still it's on active replay. It's like
Yeah.
match of the day. It's replaying, replaying.
Hmm.
So that
Hmm.
work continues in our mind long
Hmm.
after the day is done.
Yeah. I could have done this. I should have done that. Da, da, da. If I'd done that, it would have been better. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I should have done this. Should and the word should have. Oh yeah.
Coulda,
Okay.
woulda, coulda.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we run these scenarios sometimes all night long, so the loop hasn't closed. So if the
Yeah.
brain doesn't stop, your system can't rebalance.
Yeah.
That's the early signal that people really need to be aware of.
Yeah. And that is going to catch up with you. Like if you can take anything from this, if you're still playing that loop, um,
Yeah.
hours after you finish work, eventually that replay, that consistently going over things, that loop is eventually going to cause burnout
Yeah.
if it hasn't already.
If it hasn't already. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, in that then, how can someone tell like really early on that they're approaching it, approaching burnout?
Yeah. When we rest, we think we're doing a good job, and we are because our body needs rest.
Hmm.
But when we don't reset,
Yeah.
that's when we start to approach burnout. Sleep restores the body,
Hmm.
but if it's not restoring the mind, because
Hmm.
these loops are still open,
Yeah.
our thoughts stay active even in downtime. So the body is resting, but the mind isn't restoring. It's not restoring the sleep isn't restoring the mind, and that's when we're approaching burnout. That is really serious. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what we noticed earlier on are when decisions are feeling heavier. We think, once upon a time, I used to be able to sort of answer that just like that. What's wrong
Yeah.
with me? I don't know. I can't think straight about that.
Yeah.
Or we're getting less patient about things. Or we're not as curious as we might have been. No, I can't be bothered to think about that. I can't sort of. I don't want any new diet. This is what I know. I don't want to know anything more. This is.
Yeah.
I don't have the curiosity. Or when we do have a sense of recovery, it's actually incomplete.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah. So what's one change that you could make to make the biggest difference sort of really quickly if you started recognizing these patterns?
Yeah, one of the things that is when I started this whole investigation on was this idea that our bodies rely on rhythm, so that we actually run a rhythm which repeats every 2 hours, every 120
Wow.
minutes. So one of the biggest thing we can do is find a means every roundabout for the last 20 minutes and in 120, say, even 10 minutes in the last 120, is to pause
Hmm.
deliberately
Yeah.
and do something a little bit different. At
Yeah.
the very least, look out of the window. But
Hmm.
it's not about rushing off and making a coffee. If we can do something, if you can do something simple like doing a little sketch for a few minutes, or if you could, dare I say, read a book at work, or
Yeah, take your mind away from it completely.
just something that takes you into something completely different.
Yeah.
That is creating that deliberate pause, and that allows the system to do its predictive updating. That's what's crucial here.
Yeah, I worked from home when I was in that situation, and I was able to go and take the dog out. I used to take the dog out, take my shoes and socks off, and go on the with my bare feet on the grass, and just take a moment, look at a flower, look at the grass, look at a blade of like really step away.
Yeah,
I found that really helpful.
yeah.
Your
I,
breathing, like your breath, all these things, they're so good, aren't they? And, like we take them for granted a little bit because we don't take the time necessarily, do we, in life to just to look at a blade of grass or to look notice our breath or yeah, all these tools that you sort of shared.
yeah.
Um,
That's so true. We don't
yeah,
allow that time. We want instant satisfaction. I have to have it now, 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 now.
yeah.
And it's
Scrolling. Like how often now, like you used to be in a queue and you used to just stand and wait in a queue, didn't you?
yeah,
Now you're waiting, are you waiting a doctor's surgery and you're there scrolling. Do you
yeah.
know, like there isn't that much pausing going on, is there?
We've lost the habit of pausing. It reminds me of a poem that I learnt when I was at junior school or was it primary school. What is this life if full of care? We have no time to stand and stare.
Mm.
Stand as long as sheep and cows. I can't remember how it finishes.
Yeah, I've heard that poem. I'll have to have a look. Be
It's
interesting.
actually it's easy to find on the internet. I did look it
Yeah.
up for somebody because I didn't remember it one time, and I said it to this person. They said, "Oh, I love that." Yeah.
Yeah. So, if someone could have like one takeaway, one idea from today, what should that be, Charles?
Stop pushing. Performance doesn't come from pushing longer.
Yeah.
You're not losing capability. Your system has adapted to sustained anticipation, and adaptation can be recalibrated.
Yeah. Yeah.
Stop pushing longer. It's not helping.
Yeah. Give your brain that pause, the endings. Yeah. Yeah.
We have to give our brain enough endings so it can predict recovery again.
Yeah.
It needs these endings.
Mm-hmm.
Close. It needs closure.
Close those loops.
So
Sort
it
of
can, yeah.
have.
So it can restore capacity.
Yeah.
Effort doesn't do it. Forcing doesn't do it.
Yeah. Yeah. That your sort of your concept is performance depends less on how hard you push and more on whether your brain gets to finish what it started, close the
Fundamentally,
big door. Yeah,
fundamentally, and got all sorts of applications. All
yeah,
sorts of applications. Yeah.
yeah,
Just think about the fact. If we're not allowing the brain to be creative, we're not allowing our brain to be used to its full capacity.
yeah.
Doesn't matter how hard you work, it's not going to happen.
No,
Or it might, but it's considerable personal cost.
yeah. Amazing. Even pausing like to reflect on this conversation, like This has been really interesting for me. Actually, it's really landed well. See, it's getting darker around me, isn't it? Uh, but like I found it really, really interesting, and actually just to be able to pause and think about that, what you've just said there. Yeah, it's huge, isn't it?
It is, yeah, yeah. There's a lot in that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And it's worth taking some time to think it through in quite some depth as to all the implications it has. Yeah.
Yeah. Pause, reflect, recalibrate. Is the reflection a thing though? Like I'm saying about reflecting because that's part of our conversation, to reflect on our conversation. But I guess like reflecting, you can end up still in that loop, can't you? If you're reflecting on, what went well, that sort of thing, that's different altogether. But yeah, I found this super, super helpful.
Yeah, yeah. Taking time to reflect like that can help us close the loop. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go through the loop. Go through it. Think it through.
Uh-huh.
Is it all okay? Do I understand it? Is it all good? Anything left open? No. Okay. Job done.
Put down. Yeah. Close the window. Yeah. Amazing. On that note, Charles, then. Thank you so very much for this conversation. It's been absolutely beautiful. I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed learning a little bit more about the brain and how it does narrow, um, and how to sort of, yeah, we've definitely delved deeper, haven't we?
We have. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like it's been so much more than just burnout. And I feel like that burnout you can be led into that burnout from so many spaces, so many different places.
Yeah.
Um, that yeah, a lot of people will be able to relate to this.
I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I really hope people get a lot from it. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll have to do it again sometime, Charles.
I think we should. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah,
I love
it's been
that. I
fantastic.
enjoy that, Lisa. It's been great chatting to you.
Yeah,
I loved it. So what we'll do is when I eventually, it might take a while, but when I post this onto YouTube, if I can get
do you want to stop
your
recording,
email
Charles?
address and your website,
Oh yeah.
if you let me have those, I'll put those onto my YouTube page so that if people think they'd rather have a chat to you rather than have a chat to me, then they can get in touch with you.
Oh, okay, Charles, that'd be wonderful. Yeah, I'll share that
Right.
information with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
Well, I guess that there'll be different people will be able to get support in lots of different ways just from this conversation as well that
Yeah.
we've had. Um, Even like it's kind of arming them with information to be able to support themselves and reach
Yeah.
out to somebody
Yeah.
that can support them if they can't quite manage it all on their own.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's been amazing. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah. Good. That's great.